In a quiet valley surrounded by blue hills and golden meadows, there was a forest unlike any other. It was called the Forest of Whispering Leaves. The trees there were tall and old, their trunks wide and strong, and their leaves never stopped rustling, not even when the wind was still. That's because the forest could talk. But the forest didn't speak in words like people do. It whispered with the swaying of branches, the creak of bark, and the flutter of leaves. Only a few special hearts could understand it. One of those hearts belonged to a little girl named Mira. Mira lived in a cottage just outside the forest with her grandmother. Every evening, just before sunset, Mira would walk to the edge of the woods and listen. She loved the way the forest whispered stories of the past, tales of foxes who danced by moonlight, owls who sang lullabies, and ancient trees who remembered when the world was young. One day, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky in shades of honey and rose, Mira heard something different. The whispers were fast, hurried, almost afraid. She leaned closer. "What is it?" she asked softly. A small breeze pushed her curls back from her face, and a voice, clear as day, rustled from the leaves above. "The heart tree is fading." Mira blinked. "The heart tree," the forest whispered again. "The oldest tree. The one who holds our stories. She is sick. If she fades, we all forget." Mira's heart beat fast. The heart tree. She had never seen it, but she had heard her grandmother speak of it. A great tree in the deepest part of the forest, whose roots stretched farther than any other, and whose memory kept the whole forest alive. "What can I do?" Mira asked, standing tall even though she felt small. A soft leaf drifted down and landed in her palm. "Follow the light of the fireflies. They will guide you." And so, without waiting, Mira ran home, told her grandmother everything, and packed a small bag, a piece of bread, her wooden flute, a bottle of water, and her favorite wool scarf. "Be brave," her grandmother whispered, kissing her forehead. "And listen closely." As twilight deepened, Mira stepped into the forest. The fireflies were waiting, tiny golden lights that blinked like stars among the trees. They hovered ahead, lighting a path that twisted deeper and deeper into the woods. The trees grew older as she walked, their trunks gnarled with age, their roots thick like sleeping snakes. The whispering grew louder too, not frightening, but full of longing, like the forest was trying to remember something it had forgotten. Finally, after what felt like hours, Mira came to a clearing. And there, standing in the center, was the heart tree. It was enormous, its branches touched the sky, and its bark was silver and deep green. But it looked tired. Its leaves drooped, and the air around it felt still, like the hush before a storm. Mira stepped closer. "I'm here," she said softly. "Tell me what to do." The tree creaked. Its voice was low and old. "The forest forgets. I forget. I need a song." "A song?" Mira asked. The heart tree nodded once, slowly. "One from the heart. One full of memory and love." Mira reached into her bag and pulled out her wooden flute. She had learned to play sitting on her grandmother's lap, learning soft tunes passed down through generations. She closed her eyes and began to play. A song of morning light, of running barefoot through dew-covered grass. A song of laughter in the kitchen, of her grandmother's stories, of the way the forest smelled after rain. A song of all the things she loved and remembered. As she played, the wind picked up. The leaves began to stir. The fireflies circled higher, glowing brighter. The heart tree shimmered faintly. She played until her fingers ached, until her eyes were wet with tears she didn't know she had, until her heart felt completely open. When the last note drifted away, the forest was silent. Then, slowly, the heart tree began to glow. Not brightly, but warmly, like a lantern waking in the dark. Its leaves perked up. The air shimmered. The forest whispered again. Not in panic, but in joy. "She remembers, we remember." Mira stepped back, smiling through her tears. "You did it," the heart tree said, its voice now gentle and full of life. "You brought me your heart, and now I hold it. The forest will not forget." And just like that, the fireflies began to dance again, twirling and blinking around her like stars. Mira walked back through the forest, guided by their light. The trees whispered softly now, telling each other the story of the girl who saved their heart with music and love. By the time she reached her cottage, the sky was a velvet blue and the moon had risen. Her grandmother was waiting, rocking slowly on the porch. "You found her," she said with a knowing smile. "I did," Mira whispered. And she remembered. That night, as Mira snuggled into bed, the wind rustled gently outside her window. The forest was whispering still, but now, it was singing too. And in the heart of the woods, the great old tree stood tall once more, its leaves glowing in the moonlight, full of stories, full of dreams. The end.